I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Donald Trump was just dealt a major blow in New York State court in his attempt to try to delay the civil lawsuit brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James, which seeks at least $250 million in damages against Donald Trump, the Trump Organization, and Donald Trump's adult children, and also essentially seeks to bar or ban Donald Trump and Trump's adult children and the Trump Organization from effectively doing business in the state of New York based on their decades-long fraudulent financial conduct. And just so you recall, this case relates to Donald Trump and the various defendants, his adult children, etc., preparing false statement of financial conditions which would provide fraudulent valuations when in fact the properties had appraised values that were much less, and they did this to gain improper benefits, whether it was improper tax benefits, improper benefits from insurance companies, improper benefits from lenders, and it was a decades-long scheme that they engaged in. So the hearing that took place in Tuesday was based on a motion that was filed by Donald Trump. It was a motion that New York Attorney General Letitia James had warned about when this lawsuit was filed back in September of 2022. She told Judge Arthur Engoron, I'm going to tell you what he's going to do. Even when we set this trial date, October 2nd, 2023, he's going to try to delay it and play all of the games and all of the vexatious litigant tricks that we always see from Donald Trump. And boom, he tried it with this motion. He tried to continue the case by 6 months. It was set to go to trial October 2nd of 2023. Donald Trump tried to kick this case into 2024 when election season would be in full effect. And then he would try to argue then, I'm too busy, I can't show up. In any event, in the special proceeding, which predated the filing of the civil lawsuit brought by the New York Attorney General's lawsuit, that's where Donald Trump invoked his Fifth Amendment rights over 400 times when he was asked the most basic questions by New York Attorney General Letitia James. What's the valuation of Trump Tower? What's the appraised value of Trump Tower? What's the valuation of Bedminster? What's the appraised value of Bedminster? What about Mar-a-Lago? Trump, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. And in civil cases like this, pleading the fifth is an adverse inference, meaning New York Attorney General Letitia James can look at the jury, can look at the judge, and make the argument that because Donald Trump invoked the fifth, you should infer adversely against Donald Trump that he engaged in all of the conduct that we have accused him of. And in ruling today on whether or not to grant Donald Trump's request to delay trial from October 2nd to a later date, Judge Arthur Engoron, the judge presiding over this case, said, look, this case is complex, but it's not complicated. The judge went on to say, it all boils down to whether the statement of financial conditions are true. And the rest, as Rabbi Hillel famously said, is all commentary. And those one-line zingers like that, and he uses, I think, those one-line zingers like that on purpose sometimes, definitely get under Donald Trump and his legal team's skin. Judge Arthur Engoron went on to say, quote, I don't want to move this trial, not only because I don't want to move it, but he doesn't think it's necessary at all to move it, and he kept the date firm of when the trial was going to be held, October 2nd, and found there was no legal basis at all to move this trial. Arthur Engoron went on to say, as Trump tried to raise all of these frivolous defenses, Arthur Engoron's point is this is a simple case. Are the statements true? Or are their statements false? It is not a valid legal defense, Donald Trump, and Arthur Engoron said this. It is not a valid legal defense, quote, to say, everyone was doing it, nor is it a valid legal defense to say, those parties could reach their own conclusions. That's not a valid legal defense. Judge Arthur Engoron said to Trump's lawyers, also, for you to say that you don't believe the lenders suffered harm, that is not a defense as well to New York Attorney General Letitia James' claims and the causes of action asserted here. And then Judge Arthur Engoron made it clear. He said, "It is written in stone," he said. "It is written in stone. Trial will begin October 2nd, 2023. You need to show up, Donald Trump. Be there. You are being sued by the New York Attorney General for $250 million at least for your fraudulent financial schemes." As I said before, because Judge Arthur Engoron said this back many, many months ago, he said, come hell or high water, this case is going to trial October 2nd. New York Attorney General Letitia James warned Judge Arthur Engoron of all of Donald Trump's chicanery and litigation tricks that he was going to try to pull. Everybody was prepared. The judge denied Donald Trump's attempt to delay. One thing that happened as well, and it's not a coincidence as Donald Trump is trying to stoke violence, is that there was a bomb threat that was called in during the hearing, and so the hearing had to temporarily adjourn while that hearing was taking place. That's right, a bomb threat was called into the New York courthouse where this hearing was taking place for New York Attorney General's lawsuit against Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been trying to incite this exact type of situation. But you know what happened? There was about a 30-minute break, an hour break. They came back in, and as the judge said, as if this case isn't exciting enough on its own, we have a disturbance this morning. But I love the calm, steady demeanor of Judge Arthur Engoron, how he's handling this court, and it's absolutely driving Donald Trump absolutely crazy. Donald Trump posted on his social media platform in response to the fact that he has not been able to derail this existential case to the Trump organization. Donald Trump wrote, "While Congress is at it, they should look at the corrupt Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, who got elected solely on a, quote, I will get Trump platform without knowing anything about me. She then brought a completely bogus lawsuit, which is presided over by an AG-picked Trump-hating judge, a political hack whose court this case should not be in. It should be in the commercial division, but he wouldn't let go, is pushing it hard, and knows exactly what he wants to do. The chief judge of New York State should remove this ridiculous case to the commercial division where it belongs. Legal professionals are asking why this hasn't happened a long time ago. It is disgraceful. It is not disgraceful. There are no legal professionals who are asking why this hasn't happened a long time ago, because we know, and we covered here on the MeidasTouch network, that you filed a motion to remove the case from Justice Arthur Engoron to the commercial division. Guess what? The chief judge who oversees this, the chief administrative judge, denied that request. Why? Because the civil lawsuit brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James is a related lawsuit, and it is related to the special proceeding which predated it. Yes, the special proceeding where you invoked your Fifth Amendment rights over 400 times to the most basic questions about the appraised values and valuations you assigned to your various properties. Because those matters are related, it is the correct judge to be assigned this matter is Judge Arthur Engoron, who, by the way, based on all of what I know about the New York judicial system, from all the practitioners I've spoken to about Judge Arthur Engoron, he's one of the most well-respected, well-liked judges in all of New York, and one of the most well-liked judges just generally. But it's the same type of conduct that you engage in. Look, the same time the other day, you filed a motion to disqualify Judge Robert McBurney, the judge presiding over in Georgia in Fulton County. Fulton County Superior Judge presiding over the special grand jury there. You said that he engaged in misconduct. So it's every judge, right? It's the federal judge in the Central District of California. It's the federal judge in Washington, D.C. It's this federal judge. It's the every single judge, everybody. You're the only one who has all the answers to every question, but every other judge has no clue what they're doing. But you, who have spent your entire life lying about everything, about bankrupting every single thing that you've touched, you want to lecture us about how the legal system should work when you have no clue what you're talking about and absolutely everything you say is completely 100% false. But folks, this New York Attorney General lawsuit, this case that's coming up in October, is huge. It could shut down the Trump organization from doing business in New York, which could effectively shut down them from doing business generally, period. And it would seek damages that could be in the billions of dollars against Donald Trump, the Trump organization, and his adult children. And come hell or high water, it's not moving. As Justice Arthur Engoron said, it is written in stone. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Help us march to 1 million subscribers. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button. Help us get there. 1 million subscriber march in March. Let's get there. It's free. Also, wherever you get your audio podcast, just search MeidasTouch Podcast. It's free. Download the audio podcast for the MeidasTouch Podcast. Download the Legal AF podcast. Download Political Beatdown. Download the Lights On podcast, download The Weekend Show, download Burn the Boats, download Majority 54, all the MeidasTouch podcasts. Thank you so much for watching this. Now hit subscribe right now on our YouTube channel.
Lock him up! Indictment season is upon us. Celebrate with the new Indictment season t-shirt and v-neck exclusively at store.meidastouch.com.